In the race for governor, a new poll of Texas voters from UT Tyler shows incumbent Greg Abbott 7 points ahead of his likely Democratic challenger, Beto O'Rourke, in a hypothetical matchup. And it's the last week of early voting in the March primary. The polls are closed for President's Day, but if you go later on this week, you'll see a part of Senate Bill 1 in action.
That's the law that was passed last year during a special session. One of the biggest points of debate were the new rules for poll watchers.
Janelle Bluta breaks down what those are and why election leaders are worried they'll impact voters.
Political poll watchers are not new to Harris County.
We want them to just sit quietly and watch what's going on.
For years, Democrats and Republicans have recruited members of their own party to be their eyes and ears at polling places during both early voting and on Election Day.
We really use our poll watchers to just notify us if something is going wrong.
But since Senate Bill 1 was passed last year, a lot's changed.
When they arrive at the polls now, poll watchers are allowed to be close enough to see and hear all election functions.
That new law is giving poll watchers more freedom inside a polling place, but some election leaders say it's those new freedoms they're most concerned about.
My biggest concern is voters being scared.
Harris County Elections Administrator Isabel Longoria says a language change in the law is bringing more gray area to just how close a poll watcher can get to a voter.
They're never allowed to see how a voter votes, but they could push the limit on what it means to get as close as they can to a voter to observe the election process.
But now only one person can remove a poll watcher, an election judge.
Instead of people from my office or the county attorney's office, that's going to be a big change.
And any consequences from removing a poll watcher fall solely on that judge.
It is now much harder for judges to ask a poll watcher to leave.
Nicole Peterson helps recruit election judges for the county's Democratic Party. She says the added pressure on the judges, combined with the possibility of penalties, has made some judges decide not to serve altogether.
It is very possible to make an innocent mistake, and they're quite afraid that that innocent mistake will be used by someone to accuse them of election fraud.
Poll watchers have more autonomy and more freedom in the poll, and it's going to be harder to justify removal or to protect voters from poll watchers who may not be acting illegally, but are definitely acting in a harassing or unnecessary manner.
In Houston, Janelle Bluta, KHOU 11 News.
You can start planning how and where you're going to vote. Text the word VOTE to 713-526-1111 and we'll send you back some helpful links.